welcome to the Little Blue Pod. It's Jem here. Thank you for joining me, YouTube. I hope you are well, and thank you for clicking on the 31 days of BPD. It is day 17, and we are talking about friends, loved ones, family members of people who have borderline personality disorder, emotionally unstable personality disorder. So, having friends or loved ones with BPD, what can you do? I'm just going to read this bit out. A friend or a loved one with BPD can be funny, kind, enthusiastic, bright, and interesting. You may want to maintain a relationship with this person because of this, and because of the qualities that they exhibit. But your friend may also seem to take advantage of you and involve you in situations that seem unhealthy. To stay friendly, but to stop feeling stepped on, consider the following. And I will go through that shortly. But yeah, BPD, someone with BPD can be very, very fun to be around, but also can be a challenge to be around, especially if they're having an emotionally unstable episode, when they're going to anger, or when they're completely perhaps hypermanic and over the top and overexcited. Now, there's many things that you can do, and I'm going to go through them now. So the first, be calm. Be calm with them. So if they're going through an emotionally intense episode, or they're perhaps going through a bit of anger, the more irritated you become, the more angry you become, the more likely they are to get worse. So kind of take a step back, count to 3 to 5, and remain calm. This is something that will really, 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 really help them to get themselves calmer as well. Number 2, set reasonable boundaries. Now, this could be something that you perhaps share with someone who is a friend or a loved one who doesn't have BPD, and ask them and say, what are reasonable boundaries in a friendship? Because you may be with this person with BPD and they are asking you to maybe do things you don't want to do, or maybe you're thinking they're manipulating you in some way, or maybe that they're trying to take control of something in some way, and you may be thinking, well, actually, hold on, I don't know if I like that. And that's fair enough, because they may be someone who talks over you, interrupts you, or gets angry with you, but they also have those great qualities, right? So it could be something that you talk about with, a friend or loved one who doesn't have BPD, and say, what are my boundaries? And they may say, well, you're not going to be stepped on, you're not going to be manipulated, you're not going to be lied to, you're not going to be, forced to do anything you don't want to do. And then have this discussion, or maybe have this discussion in your head with the person with BPD, and say, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I will put up with. Appreciate that they are poorly, but it is the illness and not them. It's the illness, not them. And making sure that you have set your limits, you know your rights, and ask yourself what you think is reasonable, and stick to that. Next, remind yourself that your friend isn't intentionally malicious. People with BPD don't consciously or methodically set out to hurt. BPD has deep roots in childhood, upbringing, biology, genetics, culture, everything. Okay, so it's not their fault. They can't help what they are doing. Number 4, keep your expectations reasonable. Of course, you want to appreciate your friend's positive qualities, but you also have to expect a certain degree of unpredictability, so that there is going to be the good sides to the illness, there's going to be the bad sides. That's not a great word, actually, the good and the bad, because that is pigeonholing it to say that. But there are going to be more positives to this person, and let's say positive and negative. I don't like that either. There are going to be times when it's easier to be around that person than not. Okay, there are going to be times when their mood is easier for you to understand, easier for you to be around, and it's going to be easier for you to be calm than maybe other times. Maybe we'll stick with that. You need to know what is acceptable to you, and when you see something that isn't, know how you want to respond. Excuse me. I need a glass of water. Know how you want to respond. Man, that sounded nice on the microphone. You can't expect someone with BPD to only demonstrate their positive qualities all the time. Now, for me, as As someone who does have many friends, who have a couple of friends who have BP. Right, I'm going to pause the video for a second and clear my throat. Okay, so I've cleared my throat. Apologies about that. I didn't want to take away from what we're talking about. So keep your expectations reasonable. You can't expect someone with BPD to demonstrate only their positive qualities all the time. Now, I do this. Now, most of the time, my positive qualities do come out. They shine when I'm with my family and when I'm with my friends, because I'm trusting of them, I care about them. It's probably more likely to be people I don't know with that I don't show maybe the positive qualities of my personality. However, more recently I have been feeling quite low, I have been feeling quite down, and when I've seen people over the last sort of weekend, I have been quiet, I have been withdrawn, I haven't really spoken much, and that isn't my fault. That's the illness coming through. So understand that sometimes it's not going to be all sunny and bright and that, but also understand that when it's a low day, a bad day, not so good day, that it's not going to be like that all the time. Nothing is permanent. So what you can do is just be there for that person, communicate with them, and do your best to support them in the best way possible. Also, number 5, think about the information you choose to share with this person. Now, not purposefully, but people with BPD, and I can speak from this, they do probably, actually no, I'm just going to read this out. You may have a few trusted friends with whom you feel comfortable sharing your most deeply held secrets. In general, we don't recommend that degree of openness and trust with someone who has BPD. I'm not saying this in a derogatory sense at all, or to bring people with BPD down, but I know myself, when people have shared stuff with me, I may have told other people. And I'm not proud of that, but it's this trying to please. It's trying to please everyone. It's trying to keep them, liking you. And if you think you can share something, so I don't mean this in a negative way, but this can be true. Unfortunately, the impulsivity associated with BPD is likely to lead to breaches of trust. People with BPD may sincerely agree to keep something confidential, but they often find themselves talking without thinking later on. And because of the impulsivity side of the illness, it could just pop out without people realizing. And because of that need to please, because of that need to have that person in your life, it could pop out. I have done this before, but if it's a really, really, really deep secret, then I won't. But if it's something that maybe, someone, for example, someone found out that someone was pregnant or something like that, I'd probably tell Andy, and I'd probably tell my mum if they told me not to. But I wouldn't go and spread it with the world. I can keep secrets, but some people may be different to others, and it depends. Think about your judgment. If you know that person and you sort of think, I do trust them, then maybe you can. But if you're just getting to know someone with BPD, or you're just in the early stages of that relationship, or maybe you haven't been as close to them before, then be wary about what you share. And number 6, separate I've already touched on this, but separate the illness from the person. This is one of the things that my friends and my family do. They understand that when I'm having maybe a really bad a low day, or even a really kind of like hypermanic kind of day, that is the illness. It's not me. A lot of the qualities that I have as a person come from the illness, but a lot of the qualities I have as a person are nothing to do with the illness at all. They are two separate things, and the quicker you can understand that, the easier it's going to be. So I'm just going to go through those things again. So we've got be calm. Sorry about the papers. Be calm. Set reasonable boundaries. Remind yourself that your friend isn't intentionally malicious. Keep your expectations reasonable. Think about the information you choose to share, and separate the illness from the person. I hope this has helped you develop a really strong, healthy, happy relationship with someone who has BPD. And please let me know your thoughts. Have any comments, questions, put anything in the space below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Take care now. Bye.